Hello everyone, this side Diksha Ahuja. Welcome back to my channel Economic Zone by Diksha Ahuja. So in this video, I have come up with chapter 6 Rural Development Indian Economy Class 12 Part 3. I have covered Part 1 and Part 2 in the previous videos. So this video will cover Part 3 and the last part of the chapter. And if you really like the previous video and this video, do like and subscribe the channel. So let's start and know the content. Topics which we're gonna cover in this video are the 7th, 8th and 9th and 10th topic of the chapter, that is the third part of the video. Diversification of agriculture activities into crop production and the various other activities. Non-farm areas of employment, which includes animal husbandry, information technology, fisheries, dairying and many more. Sustainable development, we know the brief about organic farming and how we can achieve the goal of sustainable development, and thus in the end, we will conclude the chapter with evaluation of rural development, that what are the major forms which need to improve in rural areas. So let's start one by one. So the very first topic is to know the diversification of agriculture activities. Agriculture activities can be diversified into two aspects. First is diversification of crop production, that is also known as change in the cropping pattern, and the second one is diversification of productive activities, that is we have to shift the workforce from agriculture sector to the other elite activities and non-agriculture sector. So these are the two types of diversification in rural development. So let us know both one by one in deep. So diversification of crop production includes the shift of single cropping system to multiple cropping system. What basically it means is that now we can grow more than one crop on the same big land, so that more production can take place and better incomes can be generated by multiple cropping system, and it is a way to promote commercial farming instead of subsistence farming. So now the farmers can depend on two crops or a variety of crops, and the less risk involved and more income involved. Next, and a very important topic of the chapter is diversification of productive activities. We can diversify into various activities such as animal husbandry, dairying, fisheries, horticulture and information technology. So now it's turn to know all five one by one in deep and in proper information. So the first is animal husbandry. Animal husbandry is also known as livestock farming. It is that branch of agriculture where we are saying that we are breeding, rearing and caring the farm animals, right? So you know what, this livestock farming includes cattle, goats, duck and all, right? India is one of the largest livestock population in the world, and it has given more than lakhs of people employment in India. Women also finds employment in this livestock sector, and one thing we have got to know from this livestock production, that it has provided increased stability of income. It has given food security, transportation, fuel and nutrition to the family, because now their income is stable, right? It has given livelihood to over 70 million small and marginal farmers. So basically you can say overall animal husbandry has played a very good role in elite activities. Next is dairying. Dairying means it involves breeding, rearing and utilization of dairy animals, basically which provides dairy products and milk. So dairying is being done in India from last 30 years, and it has shown a tremendous increase and the performance is very impressive. So what do you mean by dairying? It is that branch of agriculture which involves rearing and caring of dairy animals for the process of milk. So as we got to know कि इसका जो production है is quite impressive last 3 decades, from last 30 years. And you should know the word Operation Flood. You must be seeing it. Operation Flood means the white revolution. That means last 30 years has given India to become the first rank of world milk production. So in what happens in Operation Flood system, the farmers pool their milk, collect their milk togetherly of different grades. Let's say some is good quality milk, some is not very good, so B grade, and then these all are processed and marketed to the urban centers through cooperatives, right? So through cooperative society, these farmers give their milk to the urban centers and they get a fair price and a good income. And one example you can have is Gujarat, which is a success story for implementation of cooperatives in milk. So dairying is basically going good in India. So the next important productive activity is fisheries. So fisheries refers to the occupation devoted to catching, processing and selling of fish and other aquatic animals. Actually, fisheries has nowadays been given importance and has a long way to go, because till now there was no technological advancement, but after the introduction of new technologies in fisheries and aquaculture, the development of fisheries has to go a long way. So let's know the important points about fisheries. So fishing is regarded as a mother body. Like water body is regarded mother for the persons who do, because these water bodies provide fishes to these people. So they regard water bodies as their mother. Let's know about the volume of fish production. In India, if we see out of 100%, 64% of total fish production is sourced from inland sources, and the other remaining 36% come from the marine sector such as sea and oceans. Share of fishing in GDP. If I talk about GDP, consists of 0.8% contributed by fishes. And you know, India is being spread over West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Gujarat, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu for fish producing states. Let's know the women participation in fishing. So fishing is kind of a men business, right? So women are not that much active in fishing, but 60% of the women workforce are involved in export marketing and 40% in internal marketing are women only, right? In internal marketing, 40% people are women only, right? So these are the points we need to know about fishes. Let's move to the next one, that is horticulture. What do you mean by horticulture? It is an art or science of cultivating fruits and vegetables, tuber crops, flowers, medicinal and aromatic plants, spices and plantation crops. And basically, if we talk about all these cultivations of food and vegetables, etc., so this means horticulture. That means producing fruits and vegetables is known as horticulture. Why India is being famous for horticulture? Because India is blessed with varying climate conditions and soil conditions. We have a capability to produce different fruits and vegetables. Let's know the important points. In agriculture, 1/3 of the agriculture contributes to horticulture and it provides 6% of the GDP. In GDP, it contributes 6%. Let's know the share in world production. In world production, how much we give. Right, India is among the leader in producing variety of fruits like mangoes, bananas, you can say coconuts, cashew nuts, right? And now India has become the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world. So lastly, these fruits and vegetables have improved the economic condition of the farmers, as it provides a better livelihood for many unprivileged classes, those farmers who have shifted from food grains to horticulture sector. So the last productive activity that can be done in agriculture sector or in rural area is information technology. It is that branch of engineering that deals with the use of computer and telecommunication to retrieve and store and transmit the information. And you know what? This telecommunication information technology is playing a crucial role in achieving sustainable development. That is a main focus on 21st century. So let us know the important points of information technology, how it is helping. As by using the information softwares, etc., government is able to know the areas, the parts of the India which is having food security right, which is facing food security and vulnerability, right, to prevent and reduce the livelihood of emergency. Wherever the emergency take place, there should be the food available there, and the softwares and technology is helping to reach there. Secondly, this information technology is having a positive impact on agriculture. In what sense? Just think about information regarding prices, forecasting, applications, weather, soil conditions. We got to know from all these information technology, right, which has developed over the years. So definitely information technology is useful in agriculture sector, as it provides employment also in rural areas. It provides knowledge, extra knowledge to the farmers, right? So this information technology is very much needed in this 21st century for the farmers to increase their production, to know the future predictions of the prices, weather and soil conditions. So let's know the sustainable development. So as you know, what is conventional agriculture, where the farmers are using chemical fertilizers, toxic pesticides and all. That's harmful for the life, right? So through sustainable development, we were able to develop a new way to produce foods and vegetables and fruits by organic farming. What is organic farming? Organic farming says by producing the produce by using biopest, right, biocompost, right, biological pest control, and not using the chemical fertilizers. So this topic is actually not in syllabus here, but still you should have a brief what is organic farming. And last, let us evaluate the rural development over the years. What is still left to be done, right? There should be the stress on diversification. Again, the rural areas has to be more vibrant for dairying, poultry, fisheries, right, and vegetables and fruits. Rural and urban linkage is missing, still missing. So there's a need to link the rural and urban area, right, to realize higher returns on investment. We require better facilities in the form of minimum support prices. Credit is more required in rural areas, right? So agriculture departments has to move further for rural areas development. Last, sustainable development is very important. So more emphasis should be given, right? More eco-friendly technology should be introduced, to which leads to sustainable development in different areas. So this is it. The chapter is over. This is the third part. We'll come with a revision in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.